what we have here is a Stanley Bailey number 4 smoothing plate, and what we have here is a record 151 spoke shave, or ghostly shave if you like. Well, what have these two tools got in common? In fact, what have these two tools got in common with all those hand planes up behind me? Well, they've got slop. That they have. They've got slop in common. Now, allow me to explain. Now, we have our beautiful piece of cheap ass wood, that we do. And if I was going to take a shaving, like so, okay, fine, alright, I took a shaving. But let's say, for instance, I adjusted it, it was a bit too thick, that shaving, let's make it a little bit thinner, shall we? Yeah, that's what we'll do, we'll make it a little bit thinner. Oh, that'll do. Okay, I've adjusted it by turning this wheel in the anti-clockwise direction on this model of hand plane. If you've got a really old one, it might be in the other direction. But anyway, now as I take the shaving now, it is thinner. But as I use the hand plane, what I can find happening is the shaving will get thinner and thinner until there's nothing. And the reason for that is slop. Okay? Not gruel, not the stuff you might be fed in prison, for instance. No. Slop. Now, allow me to explain. Now, it's all down to machining and wear and tear. I've yet to see a hand plane that doesn't have a certain amount of, well, slop. It's kind of inherent in its design. Now, if I remove this lever cap here, okay, and we look at this little square hole there, alright? That little square hole is where the yoke for the adjuster, which goes around this brass wheel, engages. Now, if I grab hold of this, I can move this backwards and forwards, like so. That is slop. So when I actually turn this little wheel clockwise to engage the actual plane iron deeper, okay, there is this space, effectively. It's got to move a little bit further. So, let's say, for instance, I'm disengaging by going anti-clockwise. So I'm pushing the old blade out of the mouth. What will happen is, if I don't take up the slop, so I basically move, go a couple of turns or a turn, whatever it needs to be for your hand plane, in a clockwise direction until I feel resistance, what will happen is, as you're using it and taking a cutting, the wood is going to, bit by bit, push the actual hand plane iron or blade back against that adjuster in the opposite direction. So you might have adjusted it a little bit deeper, but it's going to slide backwards. So you need to take up the slop, the slack, okay, on that hand plane. Now that's the same difference on all the hand planes I own. Some are worse than others. Now this here is a little spoke shave, okay? Lovely little spoke shave. Yeah, I know, I ain't got any paint on it anymore. And this is a 151 Stanley spoke shave. In fact, this is the record. It's a record spoke shave. It happens to have a Stanley blade in it. Doesn't make any difference because it's the same blade. Now, with this one, when you adjust it, you loosen, just take some of the resistance off the little blade clamp screw there, and then you can wind these in and out. So let's say, for instance, you're trying to retract it. So on the retraction, you'll have a problem. Retract the blade a little bit that way and a little bit that way, okay? And what happens if, as you use it, it will slide up on those little adjuster wheels there and there. So what you have to do is, once you've pulled the blade to the desired position, you have to take up any slack that there is. And if you don't, what will happen is the blade will plane out, or the iron will move backwards against those slots in that slop. Okay? And like I said, that's the same with all the hand planes. And some are worse than others. Now this one, as you see there, there's quite a bit of slop there. Okay? So it's not that great, is it? I've got other ones up there with the Victor hand-forged plane irons. There's a lot less slop. But because of their design, the way that they work, they can't be tight anyway. So it's not as though, oh, let's tighten that up and take all the slop slack. No, they can't be tight. So for them to work properly and so you can actually retract and push the blade down, there has to be a little bit of play. You just need to be aware of it. So as you retract the blade to the desired position, you need to do half a turn, or whatever it is, until you feel a little bit of resistance. In other words, this the backing iron here, or this chip breaker portion of the backing iron, is engaging with that adjuster. And that's just what you got to do. So it's simple. You just got to be aware of it, okay? So if you use a hand plane and you find you're having problems and you don't understand why, that is why. Okay, anyway, please hit the like button, maybe subscribe to the channel, little bell icon, because you get one fast video in your pocket every time I upload another video. It didn't work again. Oh.